Hearing impairment definition. Hearing impairment is defined by IDEA as an impairment in hearing, whether permanent or fluctuating, that adversely affects a child's educational performance. Hearing impairment is the inability of an individual to hear sounds adequately. This may be due to improper development, damage, or disease to any part of the hearing mechanisms. Hearing is prerequisite for the development of normal speech and language. A child learns to speak by hearing the speech of others in the family and surroundings. Deafness is an invisible impairment. Deafness at birth or in early childhood has disastrous effects on the child's overall development. These effects vary depends upon the age of onset, nature, and degree of hearing impairment. Types of hearing impairment. First is conductive hearing loss. Second, sensorineural hearing loss. Third, mixed hearing loss. Fourth, central hearing loss. And last is functional hearing loss. Conductive hearing loss. Conductive hearing loss results from defects in the outer or middle ear. Conditions that cause conductive hearing loss are wax in the ear canal, disease of the outer and middle ear associated with symptoms like ear ache and ear discharge, upper respiratory tract infections, neglect of care of ears, and oral cavity. Sensorineural hearing loss. Hearing loss is caused due to damage or disease of the inner ear or auditory nerve. It could also result as an after effects of infectious disease like measles, mumps, meningitis, and TB. Some conditions that may cause congenital sensorineural hearing loss are hereditary childhood deafness, RH, incompatibility, premature birth before due time, harmful drugs of mycin variety, acoustic neuroma, or tumor the auditory nerve. Mixed hearing loss. Mixed hearing loss is the combinations of conductive and sensorineural hearing loss. One of the main causes of this type of loss is the long-standing ear infection known as chronic suppurative otitis media or CSOM. Central hearing loss. Central hearing loss is due to a damage, malformation, or infection of the neural pathways and the hearing centers in the brain. The child may hear but has difficulty in understanding what he hears. Some of the children classified as learning disabled or slow learner may have this type of hearing loss. Functional hearing loss. Functional hearing loss is due to some psychogenic condition or may be due to deliberate exaggerations of hearing threshold for personal gains.
Common traits of hearing impairment. The observable signs by which the hearing impaired could be identified include the following. The child finds it difficult to write down dictation. The individual fails to respond to or confuse verbal directions. Complains of a buzzing or ringing sound in the ear. Fails to respond when called from a distance. Complains of discharge from the ears. Speak in an abnormally low, high, or loud voice. The child responds only when he/she says the speaker face or gesture. The child bends forward so as to hear or understand what is said to him. Ask the speaker to repeat sentences of words. When called from a distance, the child fails to respond. Gives the wrong answer to simple question. Oftentimes, the child dodge situation that may require him listen or talk to people.
Educational challenges of hearing impairment. 4 tips to help students with hearing loss. Teacher teaching hearing health care to students. 1. Find ways to communicate more effectively with the child. Example: don't talk while you're turned away from the student, such as when you're walking around the room or writing on the board. Use facial expression and body language to highlight your points when you're appropriate. Give the students a handout of any notes so that he or she doesn't have to concentrate or reading while trying to listen. Make sure any videos or movies played in class have caption. Develop a secret signal with the student to indicate when he or she is having trouble hearing. This could be a thumbs down signal or anything else that discreet yet effective. 2. Reduce background noise as much as possible. Example: close the classroom door whenever possible so that noises from the hallway are diminished. If the classroom has tile floors, try to find a carpet to put down. This helps the room's acoustics and will absorb many accidental sounds that would otherwise be distracting. 3. Helps the student engage with the rest of the class. If impossible, arrange the desks of tables in a large circle so that the students can see and respond to the others in the class. This will help the student to feel engaged and included even if he or she can't always hear what's been said. Point to students and see their names as you call on them. This will help direct the child's attention effectively from speaker to speaker and decrease the likelihood of him or her missing something that was said. 4. Consider hearing assistant technology. If the child has a hearing aid, there are many different ways to use it in a classroom setting. Most involve a microphone worn by the teacher that emits a signal directly to the hearing aid, amplifying the teacher voice.
Tips for teacher and parents. 5 tips for teachers of students with hearing impairment. 1. Use captions. All students benefit from captions, and especially those who are deaf or hearing impaired, plus those with English as a second language. To cater for these students, it is important to use only caption multimedia such as TV, online video, and DVDs. 2. Make use of available technology. If you have access to these technologies or anything similar, ensure that you've been verified on how to best use them to complement your teaching. A simple Google search will confirm just how much choice is out there. Use visual stimulus. Students who have a hearing impairment require visual cues, support in their learning to assist their understanding of content. Teachers can use visual stimuli, such as providing lesson outlines, main points, and any direction on IWB or display board to help these students. 4. Consider classroom arrangement. There are always variables as to where a student who has a hearing impairment should sit in the classroom. Ensure that the students are positioned where you face and ideally to faces of other students. If they are participating in class discussion, are clearly visible and where the sound of your voice is less obstructive. 5. Keep unnecessary noise to a minimum. Students who have a hearing impairment find it very difficult to concentrate when there is a background noise. Blocking out some or all of this noise through closing doors or windows can be a simple and effective measure.